We know pretty much everything we need to know about Granblue Fantasy Versus before it releases in February. And not all of it's really meant to be public information, but we can kind of figure it out. We now know that the base roster will be 11 characters. That's a confirmed thing, with 5 DLC characters set to release sometime after launch. Again, another confirmed thing. I understand a lot of people in my audience may not be familiar with the cast of Granblue, and I'm hardly familiar with them. I've only seen the anime, and I've done my research where needed to cover my bases on characters I'm not familiar with, and I know because it started off as a mobile game and then it was an anime, a lot of my anime audience may not have heard of it. So I thought I would go over the already announced cast, give you a little bit of information about them, both gameplay-wise and character-wise, and then we'll talk about the final 3 characters yet to be announced for the base game. First off, Gran, our protagonist. He sets out on his journey trying to find his father, who is apparently in the land of the Astrals. Gameplay-wise, Gran is like your basic Ryu-style character. He has a projectile, he has a dragon punch, and he has a forward-advancing strike move. Catalina is a former member of a military faction. She leaves said faction due to justified morality disagreements, so she's a very moral character. She's the moral compass, at least in the anime so far. I don't know if that changes at any point. She also acts as kind of a mentor towards Gran, which translates well in-game because she's got a fairly similar moveset to Gran, but she has significantly longer range because she's got a bigger sword. Charlotta is the leader of the Lumial Order of Holy Knights. They travel the skies, helping those who can't help themselves. In-game, she's a small character, which helps a lot in fighting games, and she's kind of a charge character, but that doesn't really matter in this type of game, so if you don't like charge inputs, you still might enjoy Charlotta. Lancelot is our rushdown mix-up character and the captain of the Order of the White Dragons. They kind of act as a freelance military thing in a very specific region. This is probably the perfect time to talk about Percival, the most recently revealed character. Lancelot and Percival are rivals of sorts. Percival left the previously named Order of the Black Dragons, now Order of the White Dragons, once Lancelot was promoted to commander. So he sets off on his own journey, hoping to regain power elsewhere. Fairy's backstory is complicated. It involves spirits, it involves transformations, other dimensions, but she seems like a good guy, maybe? I don't really know, to be honest. The important thing is that she's busted in the game.
No, my projectile went through you. I seen it with my own 2 eyes.
Well, at least as of the beta. Luane is odd. He's made up of 3 of the Bro family, Tomoy, Elsem, and Luane. They've got an attack called the Human Pyramid. I don't know much about his lore, but do you really need to know more than this? He's basically just a big meme. If you like your meme characters, you'll like Luane. La Diva is awesome. She is our grappler of the game. She's obviously a wrestler and she has a lot of dramatic animations as a result. There's lots of cool wrestling references in her design. The mask probably alludes to luchador style wrestling. The championship belt is cool. She's got kick pads. I don't normally play grapplers, but I might have to make an exception for this one just because they've done an outstanding job with this character. So that's it for the already announced roster, but we still have 3 slots that we haven't talked about yet. These 3 slots won't be difficult to predict at all because the weapon theory perfectly explains them. So unless we get a crazy curveball out of nowhere, we should already know what these last 3 characters are going to be. If you've ever looked at the Granblue Fantasy Versus logo, you would have noticed weapons in the background. These weapons point towards characters that are in the game. They're the weapons you need to unlock the characters that are in the game. There are only 3 weapons that are unaccounted for in this logo, and that happens to correspond to the number of characters yet to be announced. So it seems to make sense that those 3 weapons would point to the unannounced characters. So let's start with the one I care about most, the one I'm most excited about, Zeta. Zeta is probably a good guy, maybe? I don't know. I can't find much lore on this character, though I currently believe she's a good guy. I'm mostly just excited about this character because her design's really cool, but she also uses a spear, which I'm looking forward to because she should have dumb range as a result, right? She should have really long-reaching attacks. I like characters like that. I'm all about her design. Speaking of characters with dumb range, Matera fights with a bow. There's gonna be a bow character in this game. I don't know how it's gonna work, but it should be interesting regardless. I'll be honest, I'm not a huge fan of her design visually, but hey, I might just end up playing the character because she has a bow. And finally, Vasaraga. This character looks like a badass. Normally I don't like characters like this. Normally I don't like big characters, but what a character to give a scythe to, right? I haven't looked deeply into the lore of Zeta, Matera, or Vasaraga because they're not announced yet. But I thought giving you guys a little look at the lore of the characters who are already in the game and going over the unannounced characters would give you a good idea if you're interested in any particular character in this game. Like I said, I'm most looking forward to Zeta at this point, probably closely followed by the other unannounced characters. But apart from that, the character I'm probably looking forward to most playing right now is Catalina. If you had to pick a Granblue Fantasy main right now, who would it be? Let me know in the comment section below. I want to thank you so much for watching this video. If you're new around here, don't forget to subscribe. Leave a like on the video because it does help other people find it. My name is Bilbsy, and I'll see you in the next video.